Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to send and receive email in Python. We're going to use SMTP and the SMTPLib to connect to a mail server to send and read email. We'll use the free service MailSlurp.com to create a real mail server on demand that we can connect to using SMTP. We'll also use the MailSlurp PyPy package to check email from within code and test. So I have a new Python project open in my editor, and the first step is to add the PyPy package for MailSlurp. We can do that using pip or our editor's packaging manager. Okay, next we want to create a new mail server. So how can we do that? If we go to the MailSlurp dashboard and log into our account, we can find an API key and example code in Python. Let's copy that now so we can set up our account. So if I copy this code and paste it into my editor, we can use this to create a new mail server. Let's go over the lines one by one. Here we are importing the MailSlurp client. On the next lines, we're configuring it using our API key. And in this with clause, we are creating an API client to pass it to the new inbox controller. We're going to change this line here to say with options. So we're going to create an email address with options. Let's create those now. Create inbox CTO like that. We can say options.name equals my test inbox. And we can set a type as well. We want to give it SMTP IMAP access. So let's set the inbox type. SMTP inbox like that. Great. We're going to add a print line. Email address is, and say inbox.email address. Now let's run this and see what we have. Okay, so as you can see in the console, our Python script has called the MailSlurp API and created a new email address for us. We can see the address here. If we run that again, you'll notice that the address is different. This is because we can use MailSlurp to create dummy or throwaway mailboxes, as well as permanent accounts. So the next step for this example would be to send an email. How can we do that? Well, we can connect with the SMTPLib package. To do so, we need some access details first. So we say get IMAP SMTP access, and we pass in the inbox ID for the inbox. Now let's print this out and see what we have. Okay, we'll run that again. Okay, so here we can see access details for a SMTP server that we control. So we can use these to configure SMTPLib to send an email. So to do that, first we want to import the library. Up here we can say from SMTPLib import SMTP. Now after these access details, we want to create a new SMTP connection. So we can use a with SMTP, open that up, and now we can put in our host access details dot secure SMTP server host to enable SSL. And for the port, we can do the same. Okay. And let's assign that as SMTP like that. Now we can write a message. So email messages use the first part to specify headers like a subject. So we can say hello world. And then we need to use a carriage return and a new line to start the email body. Great. Okay, now we can send this email. So to do that, let's create a connection. We'll say login. Pass in the SMTP username, and for a password, like so. We'll make those the secure version so we connect to the right server. Next, we want to call the send mail, and we can pass in the message. Lastly, we want to quit the server. And after that, let's print a message saying that we've sent the email. And we want to specify a recipient. So we're going to say to addresses, and we can pass in the inbox email address. So we'll use the inbox itself, and we will send from the inbox as well. Okay, let's run that. Okay, it says sent the email. Wonderful. So we have just created a new inbox a new email address, connected to it over SMTP using access details, and then sent an email. So what about checking our email in Python? Well, I'll show you how to do that next. So what we want to do is define a new controller, MailSlurp client, wait for controller API, and pass in the API client like so. And then we can say wait for controller, wait for latest email. Here we say the inbox and a timeout. So this is how long we want to wait. And we'll pass in unread only equals true like that. So we only get unread emails. Oh, and we just changed this to inbox ID, not inbox. Let's assign that to an email variable and then print out the email and see what we get. Run that again. Okay, and we have an email here. You can see it's all being printed to the console. Let's have a little look what we have. So we have a sender, subject, hello world, and one of our MailSlurp email accounts. We can also see headers, body excerpt, attachments, CC, BCC, but now we've demonstrated how we can receive an email in code. So once again, let's just recap what we've done. We've used MailSlurp, the API client from PyPy, and the API key from app.mailslurp.com to configure an inbox controller. We've then used this inbox controller to create a new SMTP mail server. The next step was connecting to SMTP using the SMTPLib package. Then we sent an email using new lines and carriage returns and waited for the email to arrive using the wait for controller. So that is the power of MailSlurp. It's really easy to get started. You can create new mail servers on demand, and you can send and receive email in Python code and tests. For more help, check out our other videos on Python or see docs.mailslurp.com for developer documentation. Thanks.